video, the walk around video was kind of long, but now's a good time to do the interior also, so let's do that. So the doors open and close well. Other one also. Everything is as it should be and original. The car was rust-proofed when it was new, so that's what those plugs are. Don't know that that helps necessarily, but apparently didn't hurt. These plastic strips are original, and there was a 1-inch crack on both of them here. I covered that with a piece of electrical tape all along it, so I don't know if that's cheesy, but it seemed like a good idea and seems to have worked out. Let me show that a little bit better. So it's just covered with a piece of electrical tape. I thought no one would ever discern that when I was at a show. Someone picked it out, so I was impressed. A lot of the yellow cat on this car faded over the years, but some of it stayed pretty nice. Some of the seats are original. I'll go around on the other side after we're done here. The carpet is original. I have these mats that came with the car. This one's in good shape. The other side I wore out a little bit. Your seat. Headliner. It's perfect. So there's some wrinkles in the upholstery, and then the vinyl, it pulls away on these cars over the years. Both sides have done that. Oh, maybe just the one side. This side of the dash is perfect, and I'll show the other side. Lock is not original, that's from a later car, and it is way off. I must have forgot to set it last time I moved the battery. The knob is still there to do the adjustment. Oh, the mirrors work fine. other side. The chime is from a later car. The correct one for this car is basically a annoying shriek. And I changed it out, and I don't know what I did with the original, so I do not have it. Here's the driver's seat. Steering wheel. I'm going to sit in the car because the noise is distracting. Remote mirror works. Oh, the car does have tinted windows. I didn't remove that. They did a good job. The horn ring, I did break a peg, as is common, and there's a rebuilt kit that uses brass inserts for a place called Mark I Engineering. Very good quality, and that fixes that perfectly. So you can take the horn button off and on repeatedly without risking anything. So here's this side of the dash. Looks perfect, but do not jump to conclusions, and I don't want any surprises, or I don't want anyone to feel unpleasantly surprised. There was a crack somewhere here that I lifted up, and I put fiberglass cloth underneath on both sides that I soaked with thin super glue, basically to keep it from propagating. And you can't see it, but it is there. And then there was a worse one on this side, which was probably from here to here. And this one, when I finished getting the fiberglass under it, I filled it in with epoxy. So there was a gap after fixing the crack. And to get the texture right, I took a piece cardboard with some silicone and pressed it on the dash over here to get the texture. And then while the epoxy was drying, it was black epoxy, I pressed it on and it reproduced the texture. You can see the repair a little. That's been strong. I don't keep the car out in the sun. I don't know that would be wise to have a crack elsewhere or have these repairs let go, but if they put the fiberglass under it, I'm confident they should last. And then when I'm doing the driving video, I think I will also show that everything works. But while we're here, this cassette player was not in the car, but it is correct for this car. I got it later. And I have one functioning tape left in my possession. Blue sky, goodbye. Goodbye. Not the best sound system in the world, but does work. And, these work also, but I haven't programmed them. It's fine, mate. I'm not really a country fan, but push it in. So when I push it, I should go back to the classical music. Let's try another one. Out, in. So those all work. So yeah, there's the sound system. I don't know if it's safe to call it a sound system. Oh, these cars only have 2 speakers. So there's a speaker grill here. I think in the earlier cars had a speaker. The S's did not, and this does not. There's a speaker in there, little thing. And there's a speaker here, little thing. But there are none in the back. There's no provision for them in the back. So a lot of people would cut the hatch covers to put 6x9s back here. This car does not. So the sound system isn't great. But on the flip side, this is all original. There's frequently rust inside the channel here. There's none on this one. These wires were broken when I got the car, so the rear wiper didn't work. So I soldered the wire with heat shrink already over that I had sort of shoved into the hatch, and I was able to pull the heat shrink out and reproduce the original appearance fairly well. And those are new hatch lifts. The originals were worn. Well, they're not new. I put one in 06. They're not original. Oh, I never did the other door jamb. It's all original paint. Trunk. S's came with carpet on the wheel wells, so that's original to the car. Probably should vacuum in here. The cars came with a steel spare. This one has a alloy spare. I don't have the correct wheel. I didn't take it out. Hold on a second. I think I might take the wheel out here and show the spare tire well. Bear with me. There's the spare tire well. It's in good shape. All right, I'll put that back together later. Touch up there and there. Some little ones. There's one here, a little scratch. The seal is original. under the hood. So I don't see any now, but I did, when I got the car, there was some, oh, here's one right here. There were some areas where the paint was flaking from the edge of the steel, so I had to touch some up. There's one right there. But they're all around. The edges of these openings on the frame of the hood have touch-ups on them. There's some right here. But other than that, that's all original paint. So this metal from here to here, and from here to here, I resprayed. I took this out and drilled out the rivets and replaced it all when I was done. The reason I did that, and I'll go back in the build thread and see if I can put a slide in of the original. So the original paint was in pretty good shape, except under this tag, there's a riveted tag here. There was never any paint. So when I took this tag off, it was the white primer underneath, and rust had begun to just creep out from under the tag. Not bad, but I didn't want to leave it. So that's why that's been repainted. Other than that, the whole core support is all original paint. And I've put touch-ups throughout the engine bay. The car has been worked on over the decades, and various tools made scratches, and various fasteners made little, fasteners would break the paint, and there was some rust around them. So none jump to mind now, but there is that throughout the engine bay. A lot of people think it's funny or weird that I never get the car wet, not even to wash it. One of the reasons is the way these cars are designed. This pad here keeps the hood from shifting back and forth laterally when it's closed, and it is pressed into a hole that goes completely through the fender and the sheet metal behind this shock tower. And the only problem with that is, even though this is rubber, the seal isn't perfect. So water gets in here, and the underside of these fenders is heavily coated. So the water can't escape. It runs down between the fender and the structure underneath and gets caught. And that's why a lot of these cars have rust in the front of the fender here. So this one escaped that. And I certainly don't want to do anything to start that. This is it's all original and solid. This light is original. This one over here was cracked when I found one from another car. That's not the original, but it is. It's not an aftermarket light. That's an original. It's not from this car. I forget where the crack was. It was on one of the edges. It wasn't. I don't think it was from anything serious, but there was a little piece missing. I forget where. One of these edges. All right, hope that was helpful. Again, if you see anything that you want to see more of, just let me know in the comments.